this trend that like biracials with black moms are still somehow fully black, whereas biracials with white moms are not black.
Why is that dog pretty?
Because he's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me?
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
Not all biracial folks, but a whole lot of you though. What I've seen in biracial families is that they are taught to hate the side of them that is black biracial. They're taught to hate the side of them that is black. They're taught to praise the side of them that is either white or not black, whatever the fuck that is. So if you, for example, black and white mix, they'll praise the less melanated skin. They'll praise the less melanated eyes. They'll praise the less coily hair, right? So it's like the more features you have that are thought of as white, that's attractive. And then they will discourage, like, or the kid that comes out, with the most melanin, that kid gets shamed, right? The kid that has a broader nose, the kid that has like the thicker lips, like that, and the nappier hair, that kid gets shamed. So in these biracial families, there's a lot of internalized anti-blackness. There's a lot of internalized white supremacy. There's a lot of worshiping of the white aesthetic. There's a lot of shaming of the African aesthetic, or worshiping of whatever it is. If they're black and Asian, worshiping the Asian aesthetic because it's closer to the white aesthetic, worshiping the Latin aesthetic because it's closer to the white aesthetic, whatever the situation is. So that is something that biracial families have to look out for. I'll say this too. You can have a biracial couple that hate black people, right? Like, just because there's a black person in this couple with a white person does not mean that black person loves himself. A black person who has internalized anti-blackness, who has internalized white supremacy and thinks that whiteness is the prize, kind of like Onyeka from the Danish, the Danish Deception. She was just like, oh, saw this 6'5", blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy who chose her, and she was like, oh, my prince. There's a lot of black people who hate blackness, who hate their blackness, and will not connect with somebody else who's black because they want, to have these biracial kids. And then you can also have this white person who fetishizes blackness, who also doesn't really like blackness, but might find it attractive, but doesn't fucking appreciate or respect any of that. And then they have this child where they also teach this child to hate blackness. So not all biracial families, but a lot.
All right, y'all gonna clown me, but I'm dead serious.
Here she go.
I want my baby to have that good hair, so I'm gonna need me a man that's real white, like porcelain white with that pin straight hair, So my baby come out with something silky.
Girl, what?
You serious?
You act like I had good hair.
People love to tell me that my kids are too light to be mine. So whose are they? I mean, I carried both of them for 40 weeks. They won't like me, right? Just a little lighter.
Here's what they think about. 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 Here's what they think about.
This is my great-great-great-grandmother.
Wait, her? You're serious?
From Chicago. She married him.
She doesn't look like the rest of them at all. It's wrong.
I know, I wish the picture didn't
They
exist.
should have kept the family the way it was.
I'm gonna make this a safe place for biracials who have a black mom and still don't know what it means to be black. And I know some of y'all are in a quiet place, low-key agreeing with some of these biracials with white mamas, and y'all don't want to come out to the woodworks and be like, yikes. But that's because people don't understand that there are also black women who hate themselves, that they outside their race. For that exact reason. We only try to put those allegations on black men, but there are black women who straight naturals, perm their kids' hair, live in the suburbs with that white man who only send their kids to white schools, only hang around that white man's family, and only has white homegirls. So, you got a black woman, you don't know how to do your hair. Some of us are in two-parent black family homes and don't know how to do our hair. So it's like, it be certain shit, it be like, okay, yeah, maybe certain biracial shouldn't speak on certain shit, but then it just be like, why is the weight on a black woman to immerse everybody in the culture? Like, you feel me? And then why do just because somebody got a black mama that makes them more credible to talk on black shit? Some of these biracials with black mamas don't know shit. They don't. And that's okay. So don't let these people categorize y'all too much, because I know a lot of y'all are still confused.
She's right. And I think she's saying there's this trend that like biracials with black moms are still somehow fully black, whereas biracials with white moms are not black and self-hating. So there's definitely this trend going on. And so she's just challenging the narrative, and it's just like, listen, that's not always the case. There's black women and biracials with black moms out there who are for real confused. Y'all already know I got a whole playlist of examples. But she's right. For so long, we've only given self-hating qualities to black men. We only assume that black men are the only ones in the black community that have the ability to operate in traffic in self-hatred. And that misconception, I think, has actually caused more damage than good.
Understand, the difference is black mothers instill black principles into a biracial child, regardless. Black mothers also establish racial self-esteem. They validate their blackness even though they're biracial. Black fathers do not instill culture and blackness and identity into their biracial children in the same way.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches. Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches. Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches.
So to me, this is actually an important nuance because women tend to hold the culture. We preserve traditions, beliefs, stories across generations. It's the woman. And I think we also dictate a lot of social functioning. So that's why, in my experience, in my findings, the woman dictates a lot of where the children are exposed to, because men typically don't take that much of an active role in their children's socializing. So I think that's why you can see a lot of anti-blackness and racial confusion in mixed race children with white mothers compared to those with black mothers who are actively in black spaces in their black family. So their kid is like, oh, I'm black. That makes sense. That makes sense. And I also have a white parent. Cool. That's good for, or an Asian parent or Hispanic parent, but they are very comfortable in their blackness because their mother is black.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches. Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches. Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches.
I swear, if my daddy had come out light, maybe this would just slip. Maybe I wouldn't be here every morning wrestling with a comb like it's a battle. But he didn't, and here I am, stuck with all of me.
Look, I've been thinking, right? I want a baby with like a super white dude, hair straight as a silk press, so my kid come out with that good hair.
Girl, what?
You island.
Good hair is healthy hair, sis. Don't matter how straight it lays.
I'm just saying.
Where are my day ones? See, because I'm a very fair motherfucker. So where are my day ones? Have I not addressed my mother and my white father? And what have I always said? Because what you're not ready for is this one right here. My mama was looking for a way to not be black too. I've already said that. That's why she ran her ass to that white man. Because she was trying to find a way not to be black. Because in the era my mama grew up in, she thought that if she had got her a white man, even a bum-ass white man that lived in the same ghetto as her, somehow she thought that would make her be better.
I'm the biracial daughter of a black woman who hates being black. She hated being black so much that she hated me for being white. She would constantly point out the differences in our skin tone. She would tell me that I was lucky for being so light. She would tell me that she wished that she could be as light as I was, that all she had to do was stay out of the sun a little bit longer. She would tell me things like she was sorry for giving me my hair texture. She was sorry for giving me such a strong features, such a strong nose, such strong shoulders and strong muscles, strong arms. She would apologize for my build because I was built like a black girl, and she would tell me, I'm sorry I can't take you to these stores, I'm sorry you can't wear this style because you're built like a black girl and I messed you up. She would rub white towels over her skin and check for skin flakes, because if she couldn't see any skin flakes on there, it must mean that she's pale enough now, she's light enough now. But because she hated being black and I was white and I leaned into my black heritage and was unashamed of it in the way that she tried to teach me to be, she felt like I was wasting a gift by leaning into it.
Part of the thing that white men don't realize, when you are the product of a white man and a minority woman, you unfortunately see white supremacy play out in personal relationships. My dad is extremely racist, and he's never dated, that I know of since high school, he's never dated a white woman. Every woman that he has dated has been indigenous, except for his current wife that is black, he will still refer to black people by the N-word. We're no contact. But there's a conversation I saw at one point of women talking about how white men treat them better. And I kind of shut my mouth because it's not my place, for one. But as someone who was raised as a product of that type of relationship, there are white men, J.D. Vance, who target women in marginalized groups because of the power dynamics and because they can get away with more, right? Like my father has been to prison multiple times over his life for attacking his partners, all marginalized women. So I think sometimes it shows up as them wanting you to identify as white, because why would you ever give up the privilege of being white? But also them being able to feel a little bit of power and control in being the white person in the relationship, specifically the white man in the relationship. And I'm not saying everyone, and I'm not saying that this is 100% of the time, but having watched a white man, being my own father, target minority women while speaking horribly about those women, for one, being women, but then two, being marginalized, like their identities, and being openly racist. I had a white man in my comments from Calgary, I believe, Alberta at least, saying some of the most heinous, hateful, disgusting things towards women. And I went to his account and I saw who he was following, and I found his girlfriend, and she was Indigenous, and I tagged her and I said, "Are you aware that your partner is speaking to women this way?" And she called me hateful, and that I was a white woman and didn't know what I was talking about. And when I said, "Hey, I'm actually also Indigenous," she basically told me to go fuck myself. I also was married to a man who's not white, he's Asian, and he did not want me telling people I was Indigenous because it gave him social capital to be with a white woman. These are things that he openly would talk about. If I said I was Indigenous, he'd go, "No, you're not. Stop telling people that," because he was proud to be with a white woman. Shit runs deep. Deep.
When you really think about it, these biracial children who are predominantly being raised by white mothers don't really have a tune for their black culture, their black side. Because when you think about it, in the anti-blackness that can come with their father even going after a white woman in the first place, do you really think it's going to be on the dad to actually teach their child any black history?
The content creator who made the video, she actually admitted that, yes, she has a long documented history of having intimate relations with Europeans. Play the clip.
Sometimes yes, I am a white man's orc, okay? Sometimes yes, I am a white man's orc, okay? Sometimes yes, I am a white man's orc, okay?
Just to keep things honest, I'm gonna let y'all know it goes both ways. Even though we're speaking on this thing that's went viral with this woman that dropped a video talking about black women knows how that have interracial marriages and biracial children are better fit than a black father that's in a interracial marriage with biracial children to pass on black heritage and how to be black and, you know, all those sort of things. How, you know, they claim that they can teach the children better than black father with biracial children. But anyway, I just wanted to come with this next clip to let you know I'm keeping things honest because it goes both ways.
Hey, yo, listen, though. I'm trying to have me a baby with a real white woman, hair bone straight. Little one come out with that good hair, you feel me? Man, you wow. Ain't no way you just said that. Bro, you better love that kid no matter what.
Shalom, 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 family. Let me timestamp this. Today is, Shalimi. I'm learning real Hebrew now. And Shalimi means, what would we say, shalom. But anyway, today is Monday, February 16, 2026, all right? And, you know, this is a touchy subject here, you know, but I have to keep it real. You know, I mean, it's not a default button that you can push. Every situation is different when it comes to this. You know, you can have a black man with a white woman that he's a simp. You can have a black man who isn't, you know. You can have a black woman that maybe try to put her foot down if she has a white man who's her husband and having mixed kids. But, you know, we all know the man 90%, 95% of the time is going to run his household. He's the head of the house. And he might take but so much, but, you know, after a minute, you know, whoa, wait a minute, he's going to stop something that he's uncomfortable with. Okay. So from my experience, from my upbringing, you know, my parents were married before I was born, so I come from a two-parent household. Okay. My mom, yeah, she taught me, like these women are saying, the mother's the teacher and all that. Yeah, she taught me, but she taught me about Bible stuff. My father did as well. I mean, every night I would go to sleep to, well, I was born into a religion called the Jehovah's Witness. And we had this book called My Book of Bible Stories. So every night my mom would read that book to me, you know, and it's just, like a book for kids about Bible stories, and it makes it interesting for you. It has pictures and everything. So my mom did that for me, right? But when it came to life, she could give me some, information, but when it comes to life about being black, but my father was the one that really taught me. He knew he had to teach me because I'm a black man. I was going to be a black man when I was a black child, right? So he really grilled me, and when I was a kid, he was just giving me all these lessons. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to play with army men and stuff like that. And what are you doing? Coming to me with this stuff. That's what I'm thinking. I'm sitting here playing toys, and he's coming at me with like grown folk advice. He started me early, and he just prepared me for life. And he broke down to me, a lot of history of being black and what to expect, and put all of that stuff in me. And it was just like a necessity for him to do that. I think that's how he felt, and it helped me in life. It wasn't my mom. My mom, she was a mom. She couldn't really instill anything to me about being black really too much like that. You know what I mean? My mom, to be truthful, she was telling me, Michael, you're different. You might even have to date outside your race and all this stuff, to find the right woman. You might get a black woman, but you might not. You're a good guy, And my father I'd be in the car with him. He'd be rolling down the street, and look, like that. Black women are the most beautiful. He put that in me. And I told my mom, I said, I want somebody like you. You're beautiful, Mom. And, my mom, before I was born, she did some modeling. Okay. My mom was a very beautiful woman. She was 5'11", beautiful face and features and all that stuff like that. And a scout seen her walking downtown Philadelphia and said, hey, you should do modeling. She did some of it, but she didn't like it. So she got out of it. Okay. My father was 6'6.5". I came out 6'3". And I know what you might be thinking, but no, I'm my father's son. Okay. And even though my father is lighter complexion than me, and my mom is lighter complexion than me, and my father is lighter than both of us, I'm still my father's child. Okay. But when it came to, I think it just sounds funny to hear a black woman talking about teaching black stuff to black children, and you're with a white man. The white man is the one that terrorized black men and women. Okay. So I just, a woman do not hold the power in a household. Okay. Period. So if you're a black woman with a white man, you're not holding any type of power. The man holds the power. And even in a household with a white woman, she's white, and white people are supposed to be having this white privilege, but the black man holds the power. He's still the head of the household. Okay. So, I can see maybe a black man, overriding a white woman and teaching his children, hey, you got color to you. You got tint to you, bro or girl. You got to watch out here. So, like I said, it's a case-to-case thing, but I would not say anything like a black woman is more liable to teach the children about being black and you're with a white man, when the white man is the one that put all of us into slavery. that's hypocritical. Okay, so if you want to be with a white man, that's on you. And if white and black man want to be with a white woman, that's on you. But don't try to use pseudo ideology to make your point and put down anybody else. That's self-hate. I think a lot of these people are going outside of their race because of self-hate. Because if you had all of this love and you wanted to put, I'm scared. I'm sorry. It's cold out here and my lips are a little chapped. Okay. A little bit crusty. All right. But you would be with someone in your same nationality, so both of you can teach your children about your background. So, black man, white woman, black woman, white man, whatever, you know what I mean? But I would say that, if it's black man, black woman, it comes natural for you to teach your children about your heritage, okay? So I'm going to close this out by saying much love and respect to the converts, much love and respect to the active Israelites, and all praise and glory to the Most High Yah. Shalom, 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 shalom.